game.
Oi,
It finished.
We are live.
Freiburg won. West Ham United 0 in Germany. A proper mugging, I
What a
think
game.
you'll find. Fucking quality game, top quality. Nearly a Moyes masterclass, including the ending, right? The ending that's so predictable, you know. It was the last kick of the game, wasn't it?
It was, oh, mate. Again, like what people said as well, that's going to get him off the hook, I think, as well. Like, we should have had a draw there, but the penalty share, we weren't given. Listen, regardless of it being a penalty or not, we don't deserve nothing from that game.
Well, I look at it slightly differently, right? Because I hate it when Moyes plays that way in league games, but this was a cup game. I think anything's acceptable in a cup game, right? It ain't pretty for the fans. It ain't great to go out there and whatever else. But in reality, a cup game away in Europe, a draw or a 1-0 defeat, especially against a weak side like that, bringing them back to our place, it's not really a bad result.
I've got to disagree with that, though, Gal.
Good.
I think you're right if it's someone like an AC Milan or a name, if you like.
Yeah.
But they've been, I think they've won one game in the league this year.
2.
No, we've won 2. I think they've won
one.
No,
they've just won their second one.
Oh, all right then. Well, fair enough. Well, so it's, you know, I just think that I just don't. You know what? That's ruined me, that game. To be fair to you, I think because I'm expecting so much more, and I was looking forward to it.
Yeah,
and it's just it's mind numbing. That's what that game was. It was mind numbing.
It really is. I mean, the thing is, right? If you take that game in isolation as a European fixture away from home, you'd look at that as a first leg and you go 1-0 and 0-0. That's a reasonable result to take back. But we watch this same fucking football every week, don't we? So it's just not entertaining. It's not entertaining. It's boring, right? Now you can't call in Leonard because Nick's got the kit and he ain't on here, right? No. So, but put your views in the comments. We're gonna depend on your comments tonight.
Do you know what? Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I'm relying on a lot of people telling me what happened because I can't fucking remember half the stuff. I can remember about 3-4 points.
Let's recall what we can remember. I mean, the first half was just a fucking non-event, wasn't it? I mean, Kudus really tried all the way through to get the game going, to actually do something, create something. He's playing on the right today. Well, he always starts on the right anyway, doesn't he? But
I thought he was playing back though. Like he was quite deep though, Gal, wasn't he, Kudus?
He was, but he was the one who looked like he was going to take a player on, in my opinion. I mean, he had that shot that went into row H as well, didn't he? But yeah, it was a really miserable first half. And I was, as I was like talking to you at half time on WhatsApp, going, "Should we bother? There's nothing to talk about, is there? This is just going to be," because I predicted 0-0, right? This is the game I expected. That's why I'm not all downbeat, because this is what I expected. I mean, it is. You can say it's a cup game. It doesn't matter how you win cups, as we saw in Prague. You don't have to win them with flair, right? It's just about getting through each round, isn't it?
Yeah, but even the Prague one, let's be honest, Gal, like we and so many other fans have said, look, it wasn't it was lovely winning the cup and everything else, but it wasn't an exciting.
No, we should have lost.
Like, yeah, but I mean, even the cup and that, it wasn't exciting. Like, there weren't many, like, there weren't great teams apart from the final. When we weren't good in that. So, again, you know me, I'm more for the entertainment side. And
yeah.
This game's ruined me, to be fair to you.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. But this is what he does. This is Moyes in cups. I mean, this is Moyes in the league as well. But let's take this in isolation. I mean, all right, there was the one in Prague. He also got Everton to a cup final once against Chelsea, and they took the lead after about 5 minutes. And guess what they decided? Guess what they did?
What?
Sat back, tried to defend it, got bashed up.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, that is what he does. This is his cup tactic. This is how he thinks he wins cups. And the fact is, he's only ever won one cup, and that was in the last minute of a game. That should tell him something, really. He's good at getting through rounds and kind of making it look respectable, but that's kind of where it ends. When shit gets real, like we will get through past these next week, no problem, right? But when shit gets real and we play against the proper side, we're going to go into our shell just like we do against every proper side, and we're going to get bashed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what it is. So let's talk about the second half. What happened in the second half? I mean, the big thing that stands out for me before we talk about the penalty was and the goal. The big thing that stood out for me was the Bowen effort, the curler.
Yeah, that was a great save. It's
Fantastic save.
Yeah, like it was a crazy good save actually, fingertip save. So yeah, all right, that was a good bit of the game, I guess.
Well, it was the tips of the fingertips. When you look at the replay, it was really fine, wasn't it?
No, that's what I'm saying. It was a fingertip save, and he put it around the thing. That was it was a fantastic save. To be fair to him, it really was.
Yeah. And there was, and then we had an Emerson injury. I wonder what's wrong with Emerson. I mean, it's a groin, is it?
It was a groin problem, and if it is a groin, pulled muscle in the groin, that's not like it's not like just a game or two gone. I think he'll be out for 3-4 weeks. I think.
It will be, and what that does is it opens us up because the backup for him is Cresswell. And I think within seconds of Cresswell coming on, you saw that guy had pretty much a free header. And when you look at the replay, Cresswell was standing on the ground. The guy was right up in the air, heading the ball. And Zuma was like round the front of him. So almost immediately, Cresswell lost his man. He's a liability. He continued to be a liability against anyone decent, right?
He did, but I've just like so many people in that, I think that Creswell's lost a lot of attributes, but he's getting older now. Do you know what I mean? He's on his final lot. But then again, it's the same argument of when he's not played, Gal. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's going to be rusty when they're not played. So you can't just chuck someone in, hopefully they do a job. But again, it's because he don't play these players, even give them the minutes needed, that when we've got to rely on him, say we've got to rely on Creswell, he's not going to be up to speed of the game. So
I wasn't talking about the goal, by the way. Whoever says that goal was on Zuma, not Cresswell, I wasn't talking about the goal. I was talking about the header before then. I've got a photo of it on my phone because I was taking photos of the telly. There's a guy had a point blank header before then, immediately after Cresswell come on, right? Do you want to do the comments, Mickey? Because I can't.
That's all right. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to go.
Cressy's 34, but the other time I saw him start a game this season, well, the other time I've seen him play this season was when he started at Fulham, and he was diabolical, right? He's not a Premier League footballer anymore. Yeah, you can say, oh, he's old, he's old and past it. He really shouldn't be the backup option for our left back. He should have been, if we've got to play any Premier League side, even Burnley, with Cresswell in the side, that's asking for trouble, because that is our main. When we've got Paqueta and Emerson flowing down the left especially against a weaker side, like happened against Brentford the other week, they cause a lot of damage, cause a hell of a lot of damage, and that just ain't going to happen with Cresswell. So what will it be? Bring Ben Johnson in and put him at left back?
But then why not play Scholes?
Well, you could play Scholes because he is a left back, right? But he won't, will he?
Deserves it. Surely he deserves it over Creswell. Well, you've got to think that Creswell's going to be leaving at the end of the season, and Scholes is the future, if you like. So why not let him play? Why not give him the go? Sink or swim.
Yeah, you're preaching to the converted here, because of course we would. We all would. Pretty much every fan, everyone in the chat would give Scholes a run out, right? Over a knackered warhorse like I won't call him Carl, so warhorse like Cresswell, because his days are done now, right? And then at the other end of his career, you got little Ollie Scholes, who's genuinely going to be a top class player, more than likely.
I mean, but when he played, what game did he play? And I can't remember last year and that. But what the game he played in, he was arguably man of the match for that game.
Yeah, Did you hear that fucking commentator? What Amanda says here, the kids on the bench look miserable. The fucking commentator was giving him credit for putting kids on the bench. And I'm shouting at the telly, yeah, he never fucking plays them, though, does he? It's like the commentator and Don Hutchison, so sycophants, pair of sycophants. You know, they're blowing smoke up his ass the whole game. You know, like that thing we saw today with the pre-prepared questions. If you haven't seen it, the West Ham... you know, he's got his own journo, right? He's got his own journalist who he sits down with before a press conference. They work out what questions he's going to ask and what answers he's going to give. And almost every press conference now, you can always tell because he calls him boss, right? And today, the press conference, or yesterday, the press conference was all about, bearing in mind you've won, you know, you've managed West Ham for saying like 40% of their all-time European matches. That was the first question. I don't know what the actual question was. It was a statement of what Moyes has done, right? And then he starts the next question going, bearing in mind if you get through to the quarterfinal, you'll be the only West Ham will be one of the only teams, 5 teams to have reached 3 consecutive European quarterfinals. Yeah, but in brackets, mate, one was the Conference League, right? And you've got to say, getting to the quarterfinal in the Europa League is not really an amazing achievement. It was the first season, right? Because it was our first season in Europe. But now we know what the standard is. It's not such a great achievement. Let's face it, that group we just won was shit. The group we won last year was shit. The group we won the year before, I'll let us off with that one because we didn't know it was shit, but it was, right? It's amazing how they compare. I say 40% of European games, yet you didn't have a fucking group stage. You didn't waste your time playing group stages in the old European competitions. Because let's face it, you are just wasting your time, aren't you? Yeah. What did we just do with those, those 6 games in the group? Wasted our time.
Well,
you know, backer, locker, whatever they're called. Fucking why? What's that all about? But anyway, enough of that. I think after he went off, you know, shortly after, probably 10 minutes or so, they were pushing, they were knocking at the door, Freiburg. They're the only ones showing any form of intent, weren't they, really? Apart from the odd little chance that we had down the other end, like the Dinos corner, their keeper's rubbish, twice in a row.
And there was that Paqueta one, weren't there? The header, where Kuda put him in. I'm sorry, I mean, I'm probably going off a timescale here. I'm just really trying to think of moments of the game.
No, they're all second half chances. There was that one with Paqueta, and there was 2 far post headers off of Ward-Prowse corners where he played a really high corner and it dropped down at the far post. And Dinos nearly scored the second one, didn't he? He should have scored it. That was from a corner, wasn't it? So yeah, yes. It was. They're not a good side. They're weak. To lose to them is bad, but I'm not worried about it in the slightest. You worried about it?
What, the second?
Yeah, we're going to go through, aren't we? We're going to beat them, aren't we?
Do you know what, though? The difference is I genuinely thought yes, but on today's showing, I honestly don't know. Like, you'd like to think so.
But ain't it better? Ain't it better to... We've now got to play. We've got to try and create at home because we've got to score 2 goals, right?
Right, you're right. But the difference is, just say, like, because you never know what could happen. So just say we're at home and we go 1-0 down.
Oh, then we're fucked. Then we're out. We ain't pulling that back. We're out. Yeah.
All right, but then, okay. But then, even if we don't go 1-0 down and we play like that at home, where we're waiting for the last 10, 15 minutes and then go for it, again, the crowd is going to go fucking heavy on them because we've got to go for it. We've got to play. Now, we know that we can. We see that 2 games ago in the league. Do you get what I mean? But then we revert back to type. And that is the type. What we saw tonight was that boring Dross type. And look, we're not going to do player ratings tonight because it's too fucking... It's shit. But when Paqueta ain't on it, we ain't on it.
He looked weak tonight, didn't he? He looked weak.
He did.
You know what? They're playing too much football because we called everything that happened. At least I did anyway. Everyone else in the WhatsApp was going like, I was going to be 2-0, 3-0, whatever. I said 0-0, right? So I didn't call a loss, but I said 0-0 because I knew what he would do. I knew he'd play the same team, apart from the keeper. I knew he'd play the same team, and I knew he'd play for the draw. That's pretty much what he did. Apart from early in the second half, where we kind of went for it a little bit, but it wasn't throwing bodies forward. That was a little bit of individual brilliance from the likes of Bowen and a few set pieces, right? So they're equaliser. Sorry, they're winner, Mickey. Before we talk about that penalty, they're winner. Yeah. You know, it was a good little move down left hand side, wasn't it? And I think basically it was a decent delivery. And what the fuck was Zuma doing?
Yeah, when you watch the replay of that, he left his man. He just peeled away from his man, and it was that was bad from Zuma. To be fair to you, when you really look at, I know some people were saying I think Alvarez was at fault for letting him through, but it was Paqueta's man. Sorry, it was Zuma's man, and yeah, he just peeled away from him, and I can't understand that.
Yeah, I know.
I think it summed up the game. To be fair to you, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not even saying that they deserved the win. I'm not saying they was all over us. I think it was a poor game all round from us and them. To be fair to you, but they ended up doing what we usually do and shit ass in a win. Like I said, I don't think they was anything great. But it was, I don't know, the better of the two boring teams won, I guess.
I can't. I mean, I know it was what's his name, Alvarez, who gave the ball away, but you know, Alvarez went off getting through a ton of work in midfield because he was basically doing everybody else's job as well, like he always does, right? And you're going to make mistakes when you do stuff like that, aren't you? Right. So yeah, he shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have done it. But I'm not going to go hard on Alvarez.
No, of course. I mean, let's be fair to you. If we was going to do player ratings, Alvarez would have been up there for being one of the better players for us tonight.
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was really good as you could be in that squad. But
so when did we play? We played Saturday, didn't we? Saturday at 3:00, and now Thursday with the same players have played 90 minutes, and now we've got to play Sunday. The same players again have got to play Sunday, and then the same players have got to play next Thursday, and then the same players have got to play Sunday, right?
See, now that's the problem of the size of our squad and the fact that he don't play the youth.
He doesn't rotate at all either, right? He doesn't rotate. He only plays other players when his main players are not available.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you are right. We're going to have to play with the same squad. At worst, the majority of them, 8-9 players. We're going to have to keep them same players now for every game for the rest of the season. This is shocking. It's just shocking.
I just want to look at the actual kickoff times, you know, because
we can say, go for it. We can say about, and we will do, like James Ward-Prowse, and he's been so poor the last few games in that. Like, he's just getting worse and worse in my book, like, from what I'm seeing. But there's no other option there to be had apart from Calvin Phillips, if you like. And who are you going to choose?
You know what, though? I don't even give Ward-Prowse a second thought, Mickey. Like the youth, I don't even give them a second thought. And Souček, when he was playing poorly, I never gave him a second thought because I know Moyes is going to keep on playing them or not playing them. So I just blank it out. I just focus on the bits that maybe he might change, and there ain't very many of those. So we got Burnley.
Where would you change?
Where? Well,
there's only defence that we've got options in, and like two of them are like over the year old, aren't they?
Well, for Burnley, I'd definitely play Ogbonna, without a doubt, right? I'd play Ogbonna for Zuma. I would not play Cresswell. I would not consider starting that fucker in any match. He's a late substitute, if anything, right? I would start Johnson at left back. Right, or I would start Aguerd, but I think Moyes has now fallen out with Aguerd because he's not even getting a look in. He's not even getting a few minutes at the end like Antonio. You know,
I thought he was injured though. I thought he had a knock.
Aguerd was on the bench, wasn't he?
No, I don't think he was. Was it? You have to look. I don't even know, but I don't think he was. If he was, he would have been brought on.
No, he got dropped a few games ago, Mickey. And the word on the street.
I thought, look, even Greeno said Aguerd's injured. I'm sure he had a knock.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I'm sure he had a knock. He weren't fit. Him and I can't Cornet. Him and Cornet both had knock
Right.
and have
I knew
done for a
about
couple of
Cornet.
weeks.
Yeah, I knew about
Yeah.
Cornet. I didn't know about Agued. I know Agued got dropped, not for injury, but he got dropped. But oh well. Perhaps I should check the sub bench. Shows how interested I
Yeah,
was.
see, look, a girl didn't travel. I mean, there is a lot of noise about Moyes and that he's done with him now. There is that, but I don't think that's the case. I really don't, because this was he'd already picked him after that story come out that he's had enough of him. So I still think that he'll play, but he just took a knock last week, I think.
Yeah. No, that's honestly, I must have read the subs bench with my glasses off. You know how bad my eyes are. So there you go. I could have sworn I saw Agued, but I'll take all your word for it. Everybody else apart from me who knows Agued didn't play and wasn't on the bench and was back in London injured. I believe you this once.
Thanks, Gal.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Fucking hell. Yeah. So other than that, let's so they went 1-0 up, and then let's talk about the penalty at the end. I mean, for a start, Antonio should have come on earlier, right?
Oh, that's. I mean, he done it last time, didn't he? He done it last week as well when he brought Phillips on, and that when I think we just gone 1-0 or something. I can't. They just all roll.
That's another thing I'm blind to, because I know he's going to bring Phillips on. I've accepted it before the game even starts. I know he's going to bring him on. I know Phillips is going to do nothing, but I know he's going to bring him on for Ward-Prowse again, right? So that's his standard substitution now. Was it?
Yeah, well,
it was for Ward-Prowse the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's always that now he stick with that. He'll go along with that for like a few games and that.
Yeah.
But I just can't. I can't get in that mentality of. It's not like they was all over us and we needed to defend for our lives. It wasn't like that at all. It was sort of in the balance. Both teams were poor, but then yet he brings an even more defensive player on in Phillips than Ward-Prowse. But the substitute should have been what I thought it should have been last week. Should have been Antonio coming on, put that extra attacker on. Do you know what I mean? And go for it. But he's too much of a shitty bum to go and do it.
Again, though, it flies in the face of what he believes, because to him, 1-0 or 0-0 is a result. That's the result he wanted. He would have taken that. So he didn't want to risk, I don't think, pushing forward too much with 20 minutes or 10 minutes, because we might have conceded a second, right? That's the way his mind works. He's totally risk averse. And so when he came on in the last few minutes, it wasn't really a surprise when that penalty incident happened. I mean, there was a load of bodies in the box. I think it's debatable whether it was a penalty or not, but all I say is, if we conceded a penalty and the guy's arm was right fucking up in the air like that, if one of our defenders had the arm, I don't think I'd be complaining about it.
What, if it was a penalty given?
If it was a penalty against us and our defender was caught with both arms up in the air in a completely unnatural position, I think it was a penalty. I've got to be honest. I think it was a definite penalty.
See, now this is where we differ as well. I don't think it was. Well, to say I don't think it was, if it was given against us, this is how I always judge penalties. And if that was given against us, I wouldn't have liked it, because Souček did have his arm in the back of the player, and I think that it was Souček when didn't he kick the ball up against his arm? I know he had his arm up. I understand that.
Fucking good shot though. If he's kicked it against his arm, like from behind the bloke.
Well, no, not really, because I think he's hit it up and tried to lob it over, like to hit it back over, but his arm's already up, and I think it was ball to arm rather than hand to ball, if you get what I mean. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was in the back. So, you've got people in here, a lot of people saying it was a pen, other people saying it wasn't a pen. Like I said, but you know what? I ain't even mad about it. Give it a pen or not, it doesn't matter. The point is, we shouldn't have been relying on a pen in the final minute to rescue a point. We should have been. We should have had this game wrapped up. I'm sorry, but we should have had.
Of course we should. It gives Moyes a get out, though, doesn't it? It gives him a get out.
Absolutely, of course, it gives him a get out.
He
can say
complain
that's what
about
it
that.
was, but
Yeah,
it was. He should never use that as a get out because we had 90 minutes to get a goal in open play.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. You shouldn't have been. I mean, you know, we have to agree to disagree on the penalty. I definitely think it was. You think it wasn't. So that's fine. But yeah, we shouldn't have been depending on it. We shouldn't have been depending on a last minute fucking penalty. But yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here in my chair with my arms in their natural position. So you, Mickey, I'm not sitting here like this, am I? You know, I'm just saying.
You should do though. You look good like that.
I'll tell you what, right? If Souček has done that, if Souček has played that deliberately, right, to push him in the back, spring his arms up in the air, and at the same time reach around with his telescopic leg and fucking hook the ball up to his arm, that is a quality move by Souček, and he's a genius.
I'm not saying he done it on purpose. We know that fucking ain't true, didn't we? Fucking hell. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he done it on purpose. I'm saying that's how it all played out. Do you know what I mean? He's gone in the back of him. The ball's just happened to come over this side. And he's gone to try and hook it. And he's his arms that he's doing, you know, like someone else here, the YMCA lot, you know? I get it. But I'm just saying to you, for me, if it was given against us, I wouldn't have liked it. For me, it just wasn't a stonewall penalty for me.
You know, referees,
I'm past that.
The referees must be given a little handbook every season with the latest set of rules, right? I wonder if there's a diagram in there to show you the unnatural position of the arms, right? I wonder if that is unnatural.
Yeah, it is. But then, you know, you could argue with that Zuma one the other day. Like, for me, that was a penalty. But when you look at it, his arm, because it hit his chest, but at the time he hit his chest, he's tried to move his arm back, but the ball's too fast for him. So it looks like that he's, do you know what I mean? Like,
I agree with you on that one. In the replay, you can see it takes a deflection off his chest. So it's actually a bit unfortunate, isn't it? But
yeah, but then I could say the same thing about that one tonight. Souček kicked the ball onto his arm, but his arm happens to just be up here. So he's in an unnatural position, but he wasn't going for the ball. He wasn't trying to sort of do a basketball flip down. It was kicked up in his arm. So
slam dunk. He did a slam dunk. Emerson never run the line once, right? Souček fingered the player's bum. Shut up.
You know what? I wish he did. It would have livened the game up, Nick. Fuck it.
So I had a valid point to make before Nick put that fucking comment up. It's very brilliant, isn't he? Yeah, Emerson. So I just wanted that comment from Mandy there. Sorry. I bet he wasn't 100% fit pre-game. I'll tell you who else doesn't look 100%. That's Paqueta.
But you noticed, like I was saying to you earlier on, about when Paqueta ain't on it, we ain't on it. Now, the same is for Emerson. If Paqueta ain't on it, Emerson is. You see that when Paqueta was out for the last few games, like for them weeks, Emerson form dropped because he didn't have that link-up play with anyone else.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, Emerson, was kind of non-existent for me. I don't remember anything that he done. I don't.
No, he didn't. He didn't. And when you look at what's going to happen on Sunday, we're going to play Burnley, right? We're going to play Burnley. My prediction is Paqueta, Kudus, and Bowen, they will have a fucking field day against Burnley. And you know why? It's for the same reason as they had a field day against Brentford. It's because Burnley are fucking weak. We don't tear we don't tear good teams to pieces, right? We don't. I mean, Man U, we didn't tear them to pieces. We got 2 goals, and they were good goals right at the end of the game. We didn't tear them to pieces. Same with Wolves. We got 3 very good goals. They were crap that day, Wolves, weren't they? Do you remember their defending was all over the place? We've got to play a team that's on that kind of form for those players to be in like imperious mood. And I think that'll happen against Burnley because Burnley are not good. So I think we'll batter Burnley.
Right. So I'm going to go for. Do you remember we played Burnley already, haven't we? Once this season,
We
and it was
just about beat
2-1.
them 2-1. It was 1-0 to them
Right.
until like the 95th, the 85th minute or something.
And this is where I see it going this time as well. I
Yeah.
think that if we win, which I do believe we will, it'll be another shit ass for me because I watched Burnley the last couple of games, which they've lost. Don't get me wrong, but it's only to do with their finishing that they're not winning games. They are all over teams, so I reckon they will be all over us playing wise, but just with no finishing, and we'll shit ass it. This is what I think will happen.
Well, that's what happened last time.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I can see a cardboard
Yeah.
cut out, like a cardboard copy of that game again.
Did they not buy anyone? Did they not buy anyone in the window? Have they still got no finisher?
There's no finisher there. Like, in fact, they get into some really good positions, and their plays really work like really good. But their finishing is terrible, like shocking finishing. So, and if they did buy anyone, it's no one of note. Like I couldn't tell you it was.
Yeah. But anyway, look, I think that's another win, and that's going to be. The problem is that is only a couple of days away, right?
That's not saying much, is it? Phillips offered more in 10 minutes than JWP whole game. It's not saying much.
Well, he didn't offer much, did he? I
could have offered more than JWP, and I can't play a minute of football.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with Phillips at all. You know, he's just a fucking bit part player as far as I'm concerned. What we're going to do, we can't start starting him so as he gets his fitness. You know what I mean? The only way he's going to become really useful to the core of that team is if he starts games and gets his full match fitness back. That is not going to happen. He's now just a bit part player. So injuries aside and bans aside. So if, for instance, Alvarez gets a booking against Burnley, then he's banned for how many games? What is it? 2 games or 1 game? You reach he's reached the threshold then of 10 bookings.
Right, okay.
So it's a 2 or 3 game ban, and that means Phillips will automatically come into the team, right? Us without Alvarez for a start is a fucking recipe for disaster. Us without Alvarez against Villa is just terrifying.
Yeah.
One more booking for Alvarez, and he misses games.
What? And that's 3 games, is it? Banned for 2 games.
I don't know how many games it is. Someone tell me in the chat, because what do you get for 10 bookings? 2 game ban. Cheers, John. Yeah, 2 game ban. So that's a lot of games for us, though, right? At this part of the season, because that would be Villa and Newcastle.
Well, fucking hell. Well, we know what will happen then when it just like you said, it'd be Phillips, Soucek, James Ward-Prowse, all sit back and fucking be bowing up top on his own. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking depressing, isn't it? It's such an hard graft right now.
It really is. It really is, especially because people keep telling us that whole fucking TV program tonight, that whole show was designed. You know, I include Michael Owen. What the fuck is he doing on there? The guy's got no personality, opinions. He's got nothing valid, nothing worthwhile to say, Michael Owen. Why did they roll him in?
What happened to like Colton Cole and Joe Cole on our West Ham?
Well, exactly. The Cole brothers are the stars of the show. I enjoy watching them, right? I don't agree with everything they say, but they're brilliant, right? They're entertaining.
And they're West Ham. You can't.
Steve Sidwell.
Michael Owen and Steve Sidwell got to do with West Ham.
Nothing at all. And Steve Sidwell has got just a little bit more personality than Michael Owen, you know, and he did actually say, and I think Don Hutchison as well, who was doing the co-commentary, you know, the guy that piled onto me the other week, and Nick had a battle with him on Twitter, right?
Yeah, he's a dickhead, to be fair.
He's a fucking dickhead. But he, at one point, he said, he started going on about Moyes, but then he sort of backtracked and said, "Oh, but I'm not going to tell West Ham how to, you know, what they should think about the team because I played for them for 5 years." Blah 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 blah. Right. So I think that was his way of rolling it back a little bit. You know?
Yeah, but you say that, but then he was sort of gaslighting because I put in the chat. I won't repeat what I put in it like there, but basically he was up Moyes' arse massively.
Yeah.
And then all the way through the game. And then when we went 1-0 down, he was all like, "Oh, I don't understand how this has happened because West Ham was all over him." Are you fucking joking? Do you not watch us? Do you not watch us, mate?
So Steve Sidwell was on their cover. Oh, they were both on their cover in the Brighton game before. And fucking hell, that is like not the B team. It's not the C team. That's the D team of pundits they had there, isn't it? I mean, there must be better. I mean, why? I think Owen only gets work because he's a big name in the next England international. Because literally, his guy's a void, isn't he? He's just a void. There's nothing there.
He's shocking though, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
some of the commentaries he ever said before, he was all like, "Well, if a team score, they're the ones that's going to win the game."
Yeah, I know,
So
I know.
stupid. He
Yeah.
comes up with some fucking mind-numbing stuff. Don't get me wrong, he's great.
He's like, what was that? What was that other one? Yeah, he's bought 2 strikers on. They're playing up front.
Yeah. Oh, mate. To be fair, he ain't wrong, is he? So
no, he's right. He's right.
He's just fucking mind-numbing, the geezer. But
yeah, I mean, look. One thing you can say, Darren. Imagine if Burnley spoke. That ain't going to happen, right? We win those games. We will win on Sunday. Bloody hope we do anyway, right? So anyway, look. Listen to this. The games, the way they unfold. We've got 2 p.m. on Sunday. You know, it is, what's the time now? 11 o'clock on Thursday night. 2 p.m. Sunday. So very early Sunday afternoon. Those same 11 players, apart from probably Emerson and the keeper, are going to, you know, raise their weary legs out onto the pitch to try to beat Burnley, who are going to be full of running. They've had a week off. Then, after that, Thursday at 5:45 at home, we've got to play Freiburg again, who are 1-0 up. Same players, pull on their boots, work their way down the tunnel against a hungry Freiburg. Not a very ferocious Freiburg, but a hungry one. Then, 2 o'clock on the Sunday, West Ham at home to Aston Villa, who are going to be full of themselves. How did they get on in the Conference League? I didn't check. And then, after that, as if that wasn't enough, the following Saturday, 12:30, which is just the worst time to kick off in a game, in my opinion. 12:30, people have got to get up to Geordieland for Newcastle versus West Ham. How unfair is that? It's fucking miles. That's a 5-6 hour journey, isn't it?
It's fucking shocking. Look, people, look, Ryan, well, that was shit. And he's over there.
Yeah.
He was at the game. He was over there. So for him to say, shit, we all watched it. Sorry, Gal, that was the other thing I was going to say. Yeah, someone else made a point here. No, you just did it about Freiburg. Right?
Oh, no, they drew 0-0 against Ajax.
They've got a 1-0 lead to defend.
Yeah.
Right. We don't play well against a low block team.
No, but we've turned 1-0 around twice, I think, from the first leg. We did it against Seville, didn't we?
Yeah, but I think it's a different.
And Leon, wasn't it?
We look different. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't got as much faith now as you have by saying that we'll go through. I don't.
Only because
probably will. I just don't. I haven't got as much faith as what I should have really in doing it, and that's probably because we just literally jumped off after watching that. So
I was genuinely surprised, Mickey, that they scored a goal tonight because they just looked toothless the whole game. They looked brilliant until the 18-yard box, like Burnley, really. Until the 18-yard box, then they just ran out of ideas, didn't they? And it was like the epitome of that was that shot in the first half where the guys hit it with his left foot straight down the throat of the keeper. They just choked as soon as they got near the goal, and that's what I remember from watching them at the London Stadium. I thought they were rubbish, and I didn't see anything to change my mind today, really.
No. Well, you know. Ryan's right here. They set up to draw. You could see that.
Yeah, definitely Ryan.
See that with that sub. You know, I think he would have been really happy to go back to London Stadium with a 0-0 draw. And then, the narrative for that would have been it was a professional performance. Well, it wasn't. It was a fucking boring performance. And no one's going to tell me otherwise, to be fair to you. I know other people are going to say, no, look, listen, it was a game plan and we missed chances. I know. I see someone here earlier on said, you know, you can't blame it all on Moyes. It's the players. Don't get. But it's the setup. It's the fucking setup.
He sets them up. Yeah, exactly. He sets them up to play like that. He sets them up. He's the manager. You're either going to treat him as the manager, and you give him credit. You accuse people of doing that, of saying, when we win, it's somebody else doing the coaching. When we lose, it's Moyes. But you're just doing the same thing when you say stuff like that, right? I mean, let's face it, Moyes is a manager. He takes responsibility for all games, good or bad. And there's been a lot of bad.
He takes the accountability for the training, the tactics, the formation, everything
Yeah.
else on there, and the guidance of the players. Like the buck stops with him at the end of the day. So he's that's why not saying annoys me, but you can blame some players, but it would be different if it was just one or two players having an off game, right, or not on form. But it's not. It's the team. It is actually the team, and we see that without the Paqueta pulling the strings, how shit we are. And when he's not on it, like he wasn't on it tonight, again we're shit. So I'm actually quite annoyed tonight, to be fair to you.
Yeah, I know you are.
I think I'm just. He was bored the life out of me.
Well, you just shouldn't get your hopes up. I've warned you about that, right? You get your hopes up. When I read that you're predicting a win and Nick's predicting a win, everyone, I'll sit there and shake my head in disappointment. Why are you expecting a win?
Miguel, I predicted us to win the fucking league.
I know you did.
As you like to fucking remind me every other week.
You don't get optimistic, you won't get disappointed. That's what I say. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you reckon? We're not doing player ratings, right? But who would you give as man of the match for us?
I think I'd say Alvarez. I mean, I could argue Kudos really did try, but for me, by actually quite a long way, I'd say Alvarez. I think that he played some nice touches. I think he held the ball up really well. That's who I would choose. How about yourself?
Kudos. I thought he was our main attacking outlet for the whole game. He was, without him, it would have been Bowen pretty much isolated up front, right? He was he played quite a few. He played Paqueta in. He played Bowen in. He had a shot himself. He did a lot. He got through a lot of work, Kudus.
Fuck off, Nick. If you don't want to come on, don't.
I didn't want to say anything, Nick. I didn't want to say anything.
Look, listen,
cost us a goal, and Mickey wants to give him man of the match. You know what I mean?
He had it. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this another fucking win the league prediction thing?
Yeah.
Oh, come on now, though. Fucking hell, like. Oh, I'm not even going to bother arguing. Fucking a lot of years.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know he murdered the bloke, but it was only a little murder.
A lot of people saying Soufal, Thought Soufal had probably man of the match here.
No, he played well. Areola, man of the match.
To be fair to you, I don't think anyone's fucking agreeing with me with Alvarez.
That's the first time ever that's happened.
Hold on. Listen, Kiggy.
Oh, yeah. Ryan's done it. He was there, so it must be true.
Tell you what, he's one of my favourite people ever.
Yeah.
I love Ryan. But he was there, so let's have it. Yeah, and Darren's right.
He's probably still got jet lag, though, isn't he, Kingy? He's still got jet lag. He couldn't tell.
To be fair, he's absolutely pissed. So he's steaming right now. So he probably saw Alvarez playing amazing. But no, a few of us are back in me. Well done, lads. That's what I like to see. Pew pew to the backers. Woo!
Brilliant. So I think that's it, innit? We got any more comments? I don't think there's anything else to talk about. I think we've drained this one out, haven't we? Fucking hell, we've done 43 minutes on this, Mickey. I did say 45, didn't I?
I didn't think it'd be that long even, but it flows. And look, people watching listen, I know it's not been the greatest show, so we do apologise. But again, what was there to talk about?
We were really, right until I scheduled this show, we were still trying to decide whether to do it or not.
You're right, yeah, we did.
The penalty gave us something to talk about. Without that penalty, there was not going to be a show. It gave me a reason to to create a thumbnail and everything.
Well, as you said, if it's going to be a second half like that, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, listen, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I agree. To be fair to you, we would have done the show anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because this is what we do. But it's not saying that. Again, it's a struggle when there's nothing to talk about. There is a struggle to try and entertain you, I guess.
It'd have been a really short show, wouldn't it? It'd been a really short show.
Yeah, well, when someone asked when was it going to be on, I said 15:15. I said, but we'd be probably done by about 20 past. What could you fucking do? Do you know?
All right, a few last comments. One last comment. Moyes is shit. Well, everything he does shit, and he does not do subs. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. You're right. What's Nick saying here? It was Everton without the late goals for us. It was actually, because you've got to rely on someone pulling it out the fire for you, isn't you, when you play like that? And today it didn't happen. Keep it going, lads. Thank you very much, Mark. Let's talk about Biker Grove and Jimmy White's wig.
What
Not that old one.
That went up, Gal.
Sorry, Mickey.
Fuck Emma's Mike.
Oh, was that Emma's Mikey?
Yeah, do you know what?
Well done, Mikey.
Keep it coming. I'm a good-looking lad, so I don't care.
Hold on, me Alexa's talking to me. What's going on?
Oh, hello, Alexis.
You missed Nick tonight.
We did talk about that. Right, sorry, Ronnie Bubble saying about we could talk about the Bowen Mavpac's misses. I thought we did. We talked about it.
Yeah, we did. We did the Bowen curler, the two Mavropanos headers, and the Paqueta one as well. Yeah, we touched on them. Just not in a very detailed way. You might have missed it, but we definitely.
Yeah,
honestly.
Ronnie, but what can you? There is no detailed way to talk about them. It was a good crossing from Kudos and shit finishing. Yeah,
absolutely. Right, we've done our 45 minutes, our regulation 45 minutes. So that's it. We're done. Be back soon at some point. Probably do a ramble tomorrow.
We slugged through this tonight.
We did.
Use. Pew to use.
See you soon. Kia, man, you wines.
Who you wines.